If you're Malaysian and despite these tough times, you still have a job and you're still getting your regular income, then these are some of the things that we think you should do. Cha-ching! 2021 continues to be a tough year for us Malaysians. MCO, FMCO, and now EMCO, there's just too many that we can't even keep up with anymore. We know that there are many Malaysians and Malaysian businesses that are struggling because of these lockdowns, but if you're one of the fortunate ones, like us, we have to admit that you still have your job and you still have your regular income coming in, then we think that there are certain things that we need to work towards to manage our personal finances. So let's get straight into it. The first thing that we think that you should do, or actually in a way not do, is to reduce our spending on discretionary items. So these are stuff that are not a necessity, we just like buying them to bring us more joy. Yeah, we need to manage that budget a bit. I know, when we're all locked out at home, we can get bored, and sometimes we may think that, why not just scroll on Shopee or Lazada for a bit? Every single month there's a sale, maybe I'll find something that's interesting or it's on a really good deal and I'm gonna buy it. Just remember that when you buy something that is worth $1,000 and now it's $600, you're not really saving $400, you're actually spending $600. These are all marketing tricks that make us feel like we're saving money even though in reality we're really just spending more. Of course, it's different if you've been saving up or you've been wanting this item for a very long time and now it's 50% off and you buy it, then of course that all makes sense, but what we need to watch out for are those impulse purchases. We might think that, hey, since I have a bit of extra savings this month, why not I just splurge on myself a bit? Well, it's not that we say this is wrong. In fact, most times we encourage this. We're just telling you that during these times, we just need to manage this a bit better. Whenever we buy something, we get a boost of dopamine. It's something in our brain, and if you don't know about it, it's really interesting. Just go ahead and Google it. Whenever we buy, we get these boosts, and what we should do is really spread it out rather than just spend everything whenever we can. Be honest with us, guys. How many things have you bought since this lockdown started 1.5 years ago that you don't use anymore? We know that we do it a lot. We actually have a few items. Thankfully, those are all very small ticket items, but we used it probably twice or 3 times and we never used it ever again. So these are the things that we want to be avoiding. So what should you do with your leftover money instead? Well, if you haven't already, now's probably the best time to start building your emergency funds. If all this while you haven't been able to build up your emergency fund, it could be because of commitments, it could be because you think that you don't have enough money coming in every month, well, there's not a better time than now if you still have your job and you're working from home. The reason I'm saying this is because due to the lockdowns and people working from home, we probably have a bit more savings every single month just because our expenses have probably reduced. Now, I'm not saying that all of us are in the same scenario right now, but naturally, because we don't have to spend on transportation, we don't have to spend on eating out, and unfortunately, we can't spend on doing fun things like going to the cinemas or playing sports, there must be an extra bit of money that we have saved over at the end of the month. With this excess money, we need to make sure that we put this money into our emergency funds if we haven't built that already, because we never know when another black swan event like this can happen again, and maybe next time it might impact our industries. So if you want to try to be specific about it, just think about one area of your life that you probably save money on, and that's most likely transportation. So how much money do you spend a month on petrol, toll, parking, just going to work? For me, that's probably around 400 to 500 ringgit. So if you want to do this, then take out the 500 ringgit at the start of every month and just transfer it to your emergency fund so it's all automatic. You shouldn't feel a decrease in your quality of life because you used to spend this money before anyway. Now, just instead of paying Petronas, you're paying yourself and building up that rainy day fund. If you've already done this, you've already have a 6 months emergency fund, you've been watching the Millennial Finance and you're handling your finances very well, you can even start looking at saving into other buckets like traveling, buying a car, or even buying a house. For me, I'm saving up to go traveling. I guess the more time that we're spending in lockdowns, if it goes on for the next 3 to 5 years, by the time we get out, I'll probably have like a 1-year holiday all across the world because I've saved up so much money just to travel. So some of you may be thinking, but the Millennial Finance, I've already saved up so much money and now I don't need to save anymore. I should probably just spend it, right? Well, no. In our opinions, you should probably start thinking about investing for your future. If there's one good thing that came out from this entire situation, I would say that it's a really great thing that the interest in investing has really gone up since last year. and it's happening globally. Retail investors being interested and participating in the stock market is the reason why stocks like AMC and GameStop are shooting up in the US. And even in Malaysia, we see that there are a lot of new people who are interested in stuff like Stashaway, Wahid, or even Rakuten. So if previously you always thought that, with my income, with my costs, I don't even have any money to invest, well, now's a great time, isn't it? Well, technically, I would think that last year during the big drop, that was probably the best time to invest. But hey, let's not look into the past, let's look at the present. And the best time to start investing was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. We don't know how the market will perform or if we're currently in a bubble, but hey, those things take too much time. We're long-term investors. Whatever price we're putting it at now, we're just hoping that in 30, 40, 50 years, it will go up. And not just is interest going up, companies are picking up on this, content creators are picking up on this. There are so many great products out there that any of us can start, and we can even start investing with just RM1. And because of this entire situation as well, there seems to be a lot of content creators out there who really guide you through how to start your investing journey. Technically, we didn't start during this time. We started in January 2020, just a bit earlier. But if I'm being biased, then yes, of course, our channel has so many videos about how to start investing. We talk about robo-advisors, money market funds, brokers, and even stocks to invest in both Malaysia and internationally. So if you want to start and you don't know how, check out any of our videos. We have so many of them, and let us know what you think. We need to remember that today, industries like the food and beverage industry, airlines, hospitality, they are the ones who are struggling from this Black Swan event. But in the future, it could happen again, and who's to say it won't impact other industries that we're currently working in. So yeah, we need to prepare for it, make sure we have our rainy day funds, make sure we have our investments so that one day, touch wood, if it happens to us, we'll be ready. And the last thing that we think you should do, but not least important, is that we should allocate some money to give back to society. Even though I'm in a fortunate situation, I know that it's extremely tough for many people out there right now. There are many businesses, especially small ones, who have had to close down, and there are many other individuals who are laid off because of it. At the end of the day, piling up our cash or having a huge balance in our broker accounts can give us some sense of security and fulfillment, but based on my experiences, there's nothing that can give us more fulfillment than really giving back and helping others who are in need. Right now, there are so many avenues that we can contribute to, but we need to remember that charity starts from home. So check out with your family, check out with your friends, make sure everything's okay. And if they are, and if you still want to donate to others, there are many great initiatives by other Malaysians right now. I found stuff like the kitajaga.co and another initiative or an organization called Happy Bank that really helps the people who are the most in need in Malaysia right now. Even if you can't do this directly, you can do this indirectly by buying food or buying groceries from small Malaysian businesses to support them, because they're definitely struggling more than the multinational chains. For example, when you're buying through Grab, try looking for local stores, because companies like McDonald's, they're already doing very well despite the pandemic and everything like that. Whenever I go to a McDonald's, I don't know if you guys realize this, but the drive-through line is always so long. So we don't need to worry about those guys, they'll do fine. We need to help out the smaller businesses who are probably struggling right now. So while the effects of the last year and a half has been devastating for many people, there are also a group of us who are relatively less impacted. In fact, this whole situation could even decrease our expenses, which give us more excess income at the end of every single month. It feels really bad to say this, but we need to, in a way, take advantage of the situation where our costs are lower and really build out a strong financial foundation so that one day, if anything were to happen, we'd be prepared. And finally, don't forget, remember to help those in need if you can afford to, especially those who are closest to us. Thanks for watching this video to the end, guys. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Hope all of you are keeping safe, and hopefully Malaysia can get out of this very soon. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.